Hey
Hello again.
guys, hello again. Well, that's kind of weird because this is not live, so we just recorded the live. That's what it feels like again for us,
Again and again.
again and again. This
Yeah.
is Dad School Podcast, Faithful Fatherhood in 10 minutes. So this is real talk, real short, real quick, not 50 minutes worth of talking. Um, this will be a quick little something that you can listen to on your short um, jaunts to work in the morning or jogs after work or walking the dog or alone time away from your family in the basement screaming.
And just like that, we're 1 minute in. We
Shoot,
have 9 left. We
gotta
gotta
stop
go.
doing that. We gotta go. All right. So today's topic: 3 practical tips for encouraging your kids daily. This is gonna be great. 3 practical
Yeah.
tips. We gotta give you practical tips now on how to encourage your kids daily. Um, Jimmy, what is that? Why do we do this? Why does this matter to kids and parents?
It's part of what we've talked about numerous times. We want our kids to succeed in life. We want our kids to have a good footing for relationships with peers, relationships with future spouse, relationships with us, their parents, um, and to have a healthy understanding of how to navigate the world, how to navigate um, difficulties they encounter. Sometimes they need correction, sometimes they need encouragement. And the most trusted source, hopefully, is going to be their parents, being able to come alongside them when things get tough, when things don't go their way. Or you can just tell they need an extra word to lift them up. Um, we're going to be hopefully that voice that holds the most weight, and so it's going to be super imperative, important that we offer those liberally, that we give those words that our kids really really need to hear.
So just not saying good job, good good job, Jimmy. Attaboy,
Just,
sport.
just the pat on the shoulder as you're walking by and flippantly say, "Hey, good job." Like that
I
does it.
do that
That's
every
about
day
it.
to my oldest. I because his computer's on the way to like the fridge and the kitchen, so I'm like, good
Yeah.
job.
I think those moments are great. Like they have to happen. I think they need to happen. But what we want to prompt you, dads out there, is to do more than that. I mean, it can't only be that. And sometimes it's harder for us dads to get outside of those boundaries, myself included. Um, but our kids need more than only the pat on the back and the word "good job." They need some meat, some substance to that. It can't just be the sugary platitude and then on with your day only.
All right, all right. So you have to be. So you're talking about being specific and being intentional with your praises. So, if you happen to notice your kids fighting because they never fight, um, I guess there's ways you can apply this as a one kid family. But if you notice your kid losing patience or has more patience than normal, you should praise that. Even if it sounds silly to you, you should be like, "Hey, I noticed you didn't scream like a maniac this time. Good job." Things like that.
Yeah, or there's the subject in school. Every kid has the subject that they absolutely love, and maybe you can't keep them from focusing on that one. And then there's going to be the subject that is a challenge to them. That was all of us growing up, and guess what? It's the same with our kids today. So coming alongside when you see them, the one that they really have a hard time with, and when you see them really digging in and persevering to get the answer, figure out what they're supposed to figure out, sit down with them and say, "Hey, I saw that was a really difficult problem that you worked on, and you figured it out. Really, really proud of you for not giving up, and for not just throwing your hands up and having a tantrum moment as as we still do these days." Um, yeah, yeah. Just try to have your own eyes open to what's going on in their life, and when you see things going great, encourage that.
Okay. So, how can we? what are ways that we can encourage our kids? What are some gestures or different methods we can use? Should we always just rely on a face to, not saying it's not needed, it definitely is needed, a face to face verbal good job, or I noticed you did this well, like you just said. What other things can we do, Jimmy,
Jim,
Jim?
old
Sorry,
Jim.
let's look up.
um, yeah, I'm trying to push myself to be better in this avenue. I tend to leave notes that are like in a birthday card, and that might be about it, of having like a personal note left behind or something like that. But man, those really can have a strong effect whenever your child just gets to read something that's about them specifically, that you took the time to think about them individually and put some thoughts to paper, even if it's just a single sentence on a sticky note, and stuck on the mirror in the bathroom where they're going to see it, or in their room on their dresser where that it's just going to be them that finds it. Just the little personal encouragements that are specific to them, those can go such a long way. And it's something I absolutely can improve on, do more of. I'm not naturally bent in that way. I know some people, that's their spiritual gifting, is the words of encouragement, and leaving the notes, writing the birthday cards, remembering everybody's birthday, anniversary, all that sort of stuff. I'm so bad at that. But man, how often in your own life, when you get those notes from somebody else, you're like, that
Yes.
that really made me feel warm and fuzzy. Like, I don't know. I would like to have my parents think, or my children think of me as they grow up. Yeah, my dad like regularly gave me encouraging words, helped me realize, how I'm doing well, what are my strengths. I feel empowered because of the way that my dad encouraged me and treated me. Um, and I don't want to look back and think, oh, I should have done that better.
Yeah, definitely. And one of those um very hard to do things as a parent is when you see your kid doing something, not to immediately go into correction mode. Um Look for the good in a situation. Look for the
Mm.
learning opportunity, because more often than not, I am way too guilty for this. I will nitpick at my kids and I will critique what they're doing, and even if it's in joke or in jest, like, 'cause I'm a pretty serious person always, so I make comments that I probably shouldn't make sometimes, and it just naturally flows out of my mouth past my terrible guard that's asleep all the time. So you gotta be careful on what you're saying, and just as words of affirmation can have a positive effect on your kids, the opposite of that can have a real negative effect on your kids. So you need to be careful of what you're saying, how you're praising people, because if you're praising just them winning, that's not a good message as praising them for trying hard at something, even if they fail. Not saying they have to be excited if they get their butts kicked at a game that they should have been practicing but more at. I get that. And there's a whole argument to be made against everyone gets a trophy. I get it. But you need to be mindful in how you approach encouragement for your kid. Does your and each kid is different too. Like what works for one child is not going to work for the other child. You can't always treat them the same because they're going to respond differently. I have twin girls,
Yeah.
and each of them need a different type of encouragement, even though they're twins. They're not the same person.
Yeah. I mean, simple fact of the matter is our words in particular as parents carry a lot of weight. And however our children end up learning to interact with the world as they grow up, a lot of that formation is going to be based on, and unintentionally, subconsciously, however you want to put it, but how they interact with the world is going to be based on how they learn to interact with us and how we interacted with them. So taking that time to pause and reflect internally for myself, um, and kind of sort out my own stuff before I go into corrective mode with my kids, and make sure I'm not putting my own insecurities on them as I go in to correct them, to make sure that it's actual words of encouragement, build them up, build them into the person I want them to be. What's going to grow is what you feed. And I want them to grow strong character. So I want to feed strong character.
Absolutely. So recapping, we need to be specific about our praises. We need to praise the effort, not the outcome, and we need to surprise them. Add the quick notes. Some of the most touching things that I've had from my daughters or my sons have been the time that they took to do something personal for me. I have a wall of really, really amazing art that looks terrible, but it's meaningful to me. Like a little, like there is one that's just a red streak on a piece of paper. And that's it. I know it's from my son. And I'm like, that's my son. He made that for me. My daughter, really, a couple of years ago, one of my daughters wrote me a letter like, I'm the bestest dad, or something. I don't even remember what it says, but it's like heartfelt and from her. So it was really personal to me. Those same things go back to your kids too. Take the effort to make something for your kids this week. Maybe that's the weekly challenge this week. Get out there, handwrite a note to your kids, handwrite a separate note to your spouse, and give it to them in some special way that they find, not that you hand to them directly. Make sure they find it when they're alone, and see what happens. See how that reaction goes for you. You think you'll be
they'll
surprised.
even let you know that they found it. They might just sock it away in a drawer and look at it from time to time. Who knows?
Don't be creepy. Don't be like, hey, you find that note? You don't need to do that. Just let it happen. Just make it and forget about it and move on. And then next week do it again. So a different note, different message, different location. don't do the same note every single day for the rest of their life. That'd kind of be interesting.
That just gets weird.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to you don't gotta be perfect in everything you do. We're not, especially Jimmy. No, we're not perfect. So we are here to encourage each other. Check us out on our website, dadschoolpodcast.com. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them and share with us how this goes for you. We'd love to hear about your interactions with your family and how they improve this week. Thanks for joining us.
Let us know. See ya.